my name is Feedback, and you Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So, the Zack Snyder, the famed Zack Snyder cut of Justice League came out. All 4 hours of it. What was it? Thursday. I watched it. I reviewed it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think Zack Snyder was like a major league douchebag. that went down. Yeah, we had but the story I think that's been lost in that. People were evaluating, is it any good? What's this 4-hour movie like? And again, we had the whole Geeks and Gamergate thing that went down. If you don't know about it, Google it. I'm sure you'll find out. Don't Google it. You'll just come up with a bunch of show articles telling you that people who liked it and campaigned for it are, in fact, very, very bad. But they're wicked racists. That's what the those articles will tell you. That's essentially the Geeks and Gamergate thing in a nutshell. But the lead of the story, I think, really got buried, which is this is one of the most incredible humiliations, and I think that's the right word, the most incredible humiliations for the access media. So we've everything in 2021 is polarized. Everything is drawn along battle lines. And the battle line for the Snyder Cut was the access media looking down their nose at fandom who wanted it, because the Joss Whedon one wasn't very good. You silly peasants! Oh, you fallen peasants! There's no such thing as a Snyder Cut. Oh, tish tosh! And they kind of had to eat their own words. They had egg all over their face. So that, I think, is really the lead. And that's got lost right up until one of these morons, Hugh Fullerton, the shilliest of the shills, normally busy shilling Doctor Who, takes a moment off to shill anti-Snyder Cut nonsense. It's great. We're going to read the article that he put out, and it's great to get inside the mind of these absolute objective and objectionable weirdos. But before we do that, can you hit that like button? That would be freaking awesome. That would be fan-dabby double dose. Hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. YouTube does not want me to get to 2,900 subscribers. They demonetize my channel. I don't think I said anything that hateful. I just said, we have multiple points of view in the world, and maybe having saying there's only one that you can possibly mention isn't the best of things, isn't where we want to be as a society. I said it in somewhat of a mocking tone, but they will brook no denial. So like, share, subscribe. That'd be really, really fantastic. If you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, honestly, if I can entreat you in any way to click the subscribe button, that will be absolutely fantastic. And if you want to go one step further, firstly, one step further is commenting. You can comment as well. Listen, the whole gamut's open to you here, baby. You can comment, but mostly you can go and check out my Indiegogo. This is now I'm demonetized. It really is the way I'm monetizing the channel. You don't make much money on YouTube, especially with a channel as small as mine, which is why I thought it was strange they demonetized me. But anyway, I got this Indiegogo going. I got it going. It's these 2 graphic novels. We have The Imperium, a love letter to telefancy of the 1960s. It's 105 pages long. Maybe it might be longer, but by the time it goes to print, we have to see how well the campaign does. And we got another book called Biblical Bible Stories for Atheists, Creationists, Rationalists, and Rogues. Hopefully, I tried to write it as a book that wherever you are on the political aisle, on the cultural aisle, you could read it and go, well, that's a pretty darn good story. Yeah, that's really, there's no preaching, no polemics. It's just a great story, and I'm throwing in a bunch of other stuff. You get both books. We have For the Male Gaze Cast. Now, if you didn't see yesterday, we have a new one. Listen, my job, I think my role in life is to take your what you've always wanted in life, what you've always wanted and you needed, but it was never there. Take it and make it real for you. So that's what I did with these series of cards called For the Male Gaze. We have a new one. The artwork's just in. It's nearly finished. It's going to be finished today. Yes, this is something that I think I've had on my mind pretty much since 1983. A bit of for the male gaze action there with Princess Leia, who's looking kind of happy. Kind of, she's like, oh, the trouble of running rebellion off my head. Now I just got to look pretty. Well, listen, look, whatever makes you happy, Princess Leia, I am all for your happiness. So this is the 6th card in the range. Of course, we have I'm sensing strong emotion, Captain. I'm sensing strong emotions. I'm sure you are. I am too. We got Party Like It's 1999. We got Don't Even Think It's Citizen. We have Keeping the British End Up. And yeah, my personal favourite. We all have our personal favourites in life. No Hanky Panky in the TARDIS. So you get all of those with both books. And if we hit, was it $8,000? Everybody gets this A2 poster thrown in. If not, you can buy it as an add-on. And then we got another poster, The Eyes Have It, which I really like. And then we got a third one. Very, very nearly finished, which is actually not. There you go. Called Reverse the Polarity of the Neutron Flow. This will be all these things will be hopefully ready and online today. That is indeed the plan. So anyway, go check all that out, and let's go check out this article, this wonderful article of pure insanity. What if the Snyder Cut? What if the real Snyder Cut was the friends we made along the way? So this is written by total shill access media. Like, this guy is the shilliest of the shills. His name is Hugh Fullerton, and he puts bogus article after bogus article after bogus article up, essentially suggesting that the current Doctor Who is in any way popular or successful. And that way, when people who are plugged into what I like to call reality, objective reality, go, yeah, no, it's pretty bad. They then turn around and go, oh, that's a dirty peasant. He doesn't know what it's doing. Only us refined reviewers and intelligentsia can tell you what's right and what's wrong, and we say it's right, and we say there's no Snyder Cut. No Snyder Cut at all. Tish tosh. Not a thinking. Wait, what? That's exactly what it is. So this is this guy Hugh Fullerton trying to wipe the egg off his face, kind of making it a bit more noticeable in my mind. Zack Snyder's Justice League probably won't live up to expectations. Actually, for me, it exceeded them. And again, I want to be clear. This isn't because I'm in the bag for Snyder because I think he's a great guy. No, I think he's a massive douchebag. In short, if you didn't hear the story, there was a big charity stream going on to raise money for suicide prevention. The reason that he left the movie was his daughter. It's absolutely tragic. Breaks my heart every time I think about it. Committed suicide. It's just absolutely tragic. So yeah, and that's why. And so there was the fans were running a stream to raise money for it. They raised about $60,000. They were doing really well. And then Zack Snyder came on and he threw those self-same fans under the bus. He said, there's a logo up there, which was the Geeks and Gamers logo that shouldn't be there, which I think they're a bit douchey to say they can't have that up there. And he said it doesn't want to be associated with hate. I mean, really, he basically called the entire Geeks and Gamers community a hate group, right? But that's where the story went. So the story went over to there. The story went over to, is it any good? Again, I think it was excellent. I really do. But the real story of how the media has lied to us and lied to us and lied to us and condescended to us and talked down to us and now have been proven wrong and have egg all over the face once again. I mean, honestly, the media tells us in the recent election in the US that there's nothing to see there. There's nothing dodgy to. This is the same media that has lied to everything they've said over the last 4 years has really been proved to be wrong, hasn't it? I mean, do we remember the piss tape? Yeah, I think I remember you being very excited about that. Remember all the impeachments, all the children in cages, which apparently they're more there. They've lied relentless to us now, and then they say, "What? Me? My honesty?" So this was particularly delicious because we just got to see them red-handed, like having their asses handed to them. So this is what happens when that happens. I think you should apologize and say you're wrong, right? That's what somebody with a backbone does. They apologize and say that's wrong. You don't find people like that very often. You don't mention it, and you certainly don't write big articles which just says, "Hey, I was wrong, and I don't want to be wrong." So I probably won't live up to expectations, but that's okay. So Let me translate that for you. That Snyder's Justice League probably when they done those incels expectations, those silly, ridiculous fanboy expectations. Actually, they did. You're wrong again. And I didn't have that high expectations. Like, I'm not a release the Snyder Cut kind of guy. I'm like, well, that's interesting. I don't want to see it. And now I'm glad I saw it. I want to see more of them. I think it was good. Honestly, why can't they make more? They spent $70 million finishing this, right? How much more can shooting the bloody movie cost? Right, 30 million. I mean, they've reshot a lot of movies in recent days, haven't they? Solo, and apparently The Rise of Skywalker has about 30 cuts to it, and I've got Justice League. Yeah, they've reshot a lot of movies almost entirely. How much is it going to cost? 30 million, 50 million? Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's 150 million budget. WandaVision somehow had a budget of 200 million. I'm thinking there was just a lot of cocaine bought there, right? I think, that's the only thing I can come up with. Cocaine quite expensive, but I would have thought for 50 million, you could start your own cocaine plant, right? Wouldn't that make sense? I don't know. Listen, this is what we call the Jewish cup. Okay, if you're a coke fiend, and you're spending that sort of money, get your own crop, is what I would suggest. It's probably going to work out. You get economies of scale. Okay, fine. So here we go. At last, it's here. After years of online campaigning and being told they're incels and they know nothing, messages plastered across Times Square, and a lot of hashtags. The Snyder Cut of Justice League, which we told by people like you who follow, never existed. Anybody suggesting it is a bumpkin is finally out in the world. Released by HBO Max in the US and on Sky. Oh, really? It's not on HBO. The HBO Max isn't in the UK? Really? That's so bizarre to me. Like, why is HBO Max not international? Right now with their slate, they could do well. Because, they got a lot of good stuff coming up. They got the entire Warner Brothers movie slate. They should really... It should be international. It's I understand it not being in Israel, which is where I live, but it just kind of annoys me, but it should be international. Okay, so on Sky now in the UK as a kind of event miniseries. No, honestly, I thought it was a mistake not to do it as a miniseries. Now I've watched it, I'm like, I think it works better as a movie. Although it's it's kind of a square, old-fashioned TV format, and I thought that's he'll kind of replicate the old George Reeves Superman show. No, apparently that's the shape of an IMAX screen, right? We've got away from the letterbox ones. Now we're back onto squares. Okay, who knew? This re-edit of 2017's Justice League is not a re-edit. This is a qualitatively different movie. Again, a far superior movie. This re-edit of the 2017. I love the way he's diminishing it, right? This re-edit. Does a re-edit cost 70 million, arsehole? I don't think so. And if you're able to charge 70 million for a re-edit, I'll do it for you for say around 1,000. Okay, no problem, mate. 700 grand. I'm in. I'll do it for you. The 2017 Justice League will the re-edit of the 2017 Justice League be the world-conquering quasi-religious experience that has been that all the build-up has led fans to expect? Now, again, he's putting the fans down. He's saying they're morons. He's saying they're country bumpkins. He's saying they have no idea. He's saying they're ridiculous peasants. It might come. This is just a little re-edit. We were just a little bit wrong. No, actually, it was. Arsehole. At the time of writing, it's hard to know. It's okay, I'll let you know. It was actually, again, it wasn't a quasi-religious experience. The quasi-religious experience is you being shown to be the emperor with no clothes on. You being shown to be the ridiculous lying fool that you were. That was a religious experience, not the movie, which was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. It's hard to remember, but there is one thing we know for sure. You're a douchebag. That's what we know for sure. You're a douchebag. Zack Snyder's Justice League is not the Snyder Cut, because you see, in many ways, the Snyder Cut isn't something that ever existed. Yes, it is, arsehole! You're still on that? Are you really still on that? Yes, it is. This is like you told us. It didn't exist. Oh, no, it didn't exist. No. Really? If it didn't exist, why do I have it? Why did I just see it? Why am I buying the Blu-ray of it? I think it exists. I think it existed. I think it existed, right? I think pretty much you've been told to be a complete arse, right? So let's see how he's going to justify this stupidity. When Snyder departed Justice League, it's not like he had a film ready to go, and that the evil executive cruelly cast aside, cackling as they drew up their destructive plans for Justice League. Instead, no. What happened was they didn't like the direction that the entire Snyder universe was going into, and they're imbeciles, because I think he probably told them exactly what he planned to do. There was a 6-movie arc, which now you pretty much see it. 6, like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, now Justice League. It seems to be a good 3 more movies in there. There's a Justice League 2 and 3. Looks like there's a Batman movie there. There's Green Lantern. There's a lot of stuff, in this cycle. Yeah, so I understand. He filmed it. He planned it. He didn't do the final edit of it because they used the death of his daughter, the suicide of his daughter, to kick him off and move the DCEU in a different direction, which didn't really fare that well. I mean, they had a couple of good movies. They did Shazam and they did Joker, which was like, again, I thought, I think doing a bunch of eclectic good movies is a good idea, or doing this epic art, also a good idea, but stick the damn landing. Decide what you're doing and do it, right? So I think the evil executive did cruelly cast Snyder aside, using the suicide of his daughter as an excuse to get rid of him and change the entire direction and get rid of this direction. So yes, thick brain, that's exactly what bloody happened. Rather, he had an awful lot of footage that was unfinished and unfit for release. Obviously, it wasn't finished. No CGI or color grading. Not yet. Nobody pretended there was a completed version waiting. And again, this is disingenuous bullcrap, which is what you do, which is what you all do in the media. And you think we don't see through you? Really? You really don't think you're transparent? Because you are. I mean, the only people buying your bullcrap is you, not us. Which he locked away in a cupboard somewhere and never expected to revisit. I didn't expect it to ever be revisited. The larger than reshot Joss Whedon version of the Snyder film was released instead, and it wasn't very good. Didn't do that well and left fans disappointed because it wasn't very good. I'm sorry, your CGI Superman lip wasn't very good. It didn't work. It was, again, how long was the Whedon cut? 90 minutes, an hour and a half, exactly what movie executives want, like, the digestible popcorn flick, but that's not what Snyder intended, and it's clearly not what Snyder was working to. And as we see now. And keen to see what might have been, fans started to call for the original, for Snyder's original version. This director's cut campaign has a long history in movies. Perhaps most prominently the various cuts of Ridley Scott's seminal Blade Runner, with or without voiceover, or the weird ending. You decide. I honestly, I kind of like the voiceover, but I have a feeling the first time you see something you love it in that full most, right? So I kind of like the voiceover. I understand it's not very good. I understand that Harrison Ford didn't want to do it, and his delivery was not the most scintillating, but still, I kind of like it. But with Justice League, it combined with the growing power and influence of online fans to create a massive and often toxic campaign. Listen, whoever says toxic, whoever calls anything toxic is the toxic one. And let me tell you, Mr. Fullerton, you are a toxic piece of human garbage. I genuinely believe that. I mean, let me rephrase that. In terms of your professionalism, I do not know you personally in any way, but anybody who can spin the idea that this was a toxic campaign is themselves a toxic piece of human garbage who is trying to move forth a campaign of disinformation to malign a large swathe of people who don't look at the world the way you do, which is really the bottom line, right? That's really the bottom line. You don't like it that the people who wanted the Snyder Cut don't look at the world in general like you. Don't go, oh, the Obama years were so wonderful, and the subsequent, incredible economy and wonderful, wonderful Trump years were terrible. Anybody who doesn't see your hypocrisy and doesn't join in your hypocrisy, they are lumped into this deplorable basket, aren't they? That's why that really killed Hillary Clinton. It's not because it was a misspoke. It's because she spoke accurately, very, very accurately when she called essentially these people deplorables. The fact that Warner Brothers eventually decided to bow to the pressure is nearly unheard of. Yeah, I bet they're crying into bags of money right now, aren't they? The fact that they gave Snyder millions of dollars to shoot new scenes and finish the CGI is unprecedented. Yes. Oh, it's not quite unprecedented. Do you remember the little movie called Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Where they put out the first trailer and all the fans went, "Oh, that's awful. We don't want to watch it." And then the director, instead of doing what you idiots normally go, "Oh, you're just lowly country bumpkins. You're peasants. You don't understand." They go, "Oh, really? You're the customer. I'm going to give you what they want." And they redid the special effects, and it became, I think, the most successful a video game movie of all time, didn't it? Yes, I think that's exactly what happened. Yeah, so the idea of treating your audience with respect, which again, something you can't stand, because you want to be raised up on a pedestal above the audience. You can't stand that. And you honestly, while you're having a tantrum is your lack of power and your loss of power. It's palpable. But the end result is the fans got what they wanted, or at least what they thought they wanted. No, it's what they wanted. Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League as it would have been in an alternate 2017. Now, I don't know if the movie was pretty darn good because it was made in 2017 and it didn't have, the current year Hollywood insanity plowing all the way through it. I think that might be an element. Another element was it was truly epic. And I've never seen something truly epic that way. And honestly, my God, the redesigned Steppenwolf, for example, it just... It's not even close. One is very good, one is very, very mediocre. But with this film really what they wanted? Yes. I'm not so sure. Maybe it's not what they wanted. Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't necessarily a redo of the original. Yes, it is. Really? I mean, again, how are you saying this nonsense? You understand it's on the internet, right? That people can see it in the future, right? Instead of seeing what Snyder would have made to release, fans are being given a 4-hour plus miniseries. Not a miniseries, it's a movie made to be 4-hour plus miniseries at 4 hours and 2 minutes. Miniseries which would have never been released. Yes, this is the director's cut. Probably the theatrical cut would have been closer to 3 hours. Maybe less, 2.5, 3 hours. The real Snyder cut would have been shorter, snappier, and the daunting length of what's being released feels almost like it's too much of a good thing, even if you're a huge fan of the Snyder version. Honestly, I wasn't. I'm really not such a huge fan of it. I'm just kind of a fan of cinema, quite frankly, and I thought it was interesting. I think it's certainly the best of the three that he's done. I mean, by far. Absolutely by far the best of the three. And again, comparing it to the Joss Whedon version, it's not even bloody close. And perhaps that's more true generally of the entire project. Last year, when this re-release was confirmed, the satirical YouTube channel Screen Junkies, created an entire response video to the finished Justice League, which apparently included every plot hole fix, a dark side origin story, a heartfelt apology for the cast of Ghostbusters 2016. Yes, this was Screen Rant pooing itself. This was having a tantrum. They didn't decide! And so they pulled out everything that they were mad about. Yeah, the heartfelt apology for Ghostbusters 2016, which was garbage. And again, you shill media, you told us it was the greatest thing ever. It was garbage. At a 20-minute interlude where Jeremy Irons Alfred reads Atlas shrugged over the intercom and concluded with the revelation the film was so good, so seven that again, all this is just trying to diminish the fans, which you can't stand have more power than you, right? You think, honestly, do you not think you're incredibly transparent? Because you are just unbelievably transparent. So good, so seven that he entered the comic book movie genre for good, preemptively cancelled the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, actually, it kind of did do that, right? Falcon and Winter Soldier came out the day afterwards, and it was serviceable. There was nothing wrong with it, right? Nothing wrong with it. I can see it going pretty woke, but there was nothing really wrong with it. But it's stuff I've seen it all before, right? I've seen the aerial chase. I've seen it all before, and I'm just not that interested. Honestly, this seemed to be an MCU killer, quite frankly. And if they would continue like this, I mean, not that they both can't coexist, but honestly, the MCU I think is basically over. They've decided to go the MCU, right? WandaVision, I think, unquestionably says that. They've decided that they want to go the MCU, and okay, good luck with that. Yeah, let's say. I wonder if it's going to go exactly the same way as Star Wars and Doctor Who and Star Trek. Quite probably, yes, quite probably, because I can't see you idiots doing anything different. It's a funny riff. No, it's not. It's actually a mean, spiteful riff. But also, I like how ludicrously high some expectations are for this movie. Honestly, you're the same people who said when they said how bad The Last Jedi was, and they should have remade it. Now looking back, do you think the world would have been better for Disney had they remade The Last Jedi? Or even better, how do you think life would be for Disney if somebody read the script of The Last Jedi and went to Kathleen Kennedy? What the hell are you doing, you crazy bitch? Like, really, what? Like, if somebody had actually done their job and worked out how bad it would have been preemptively, I think Disney would if they had a time machine, they will go back in time and do that. But they don't. So we got the mess that was The Rise of Skywalker. And raises questions over whether this Justice League will be as good as the hazy, unlimited potential version that hovered in people's imaginations the last 3 years ago. You were so hoping it was going to tank, weren't you, Mr. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. No, it wasn't, was it? It's done very well. Oh, I love it. I love that this is aged badly and it's 4 days old. 4 days old. At the time of writing, I haven't seen Justice League re-edit. There's nothing weird. No, it's not a re-edit. Yeah, again, everything you can do to diminish it diminishes yourself. And that's really the truth, mate. And neither has any member of the general public. Now we've seen it. It could be it actually fulfills every expectation fans had for this release, converts anyone to the DC calls, and actually forces Warner to return to the original Snyder plan. I think it'd be a good idea for them to do that if they want to please the audience and have them pay for their service. Then yeah, it's probably a good idea. Rather than new Batman and Superman movies and Batman, which sound like hot garbage. They sound like absolute hot garbage. But somehow, I feel like the Snyder Cut won't be as good as the version people have carrying in their heads. Yeah, a really boring in your face. Carrying in their heads. This was such a low bar you had to get over, and you failed. Right? You failed! It exceeded most people's expectations. Untouched by the reality, the harsh reality of the film. And how could it be? Well, really? Well, it turns out it was. Your mind has limitless budget, an all-star cast, an extremely generous audience, and the real world isn't like that. Seemed to do okay to me. Do you remember Wonder Woman 84? Yeah, that didn't do very well, did it? No, this did. So just an A-B for you, so you can see the difference. What is that? And I can imagine Zack Snyder's Justice League inspiring at least some disappointment when it finally arrived. Listen, some people said they hated it. Some people there said they hated it, and some people were very, very, very offended to the point of saying, I'm going to hate this movie about the Geeks and Gamergate, right? Yeah, a lot of some people. Again, I don't really have much skin in the game other than I was interested to see it, and I thought this was a compelling and interesting cinematic experience, right? That was my thoughts on it. So he's setting the bar so low, and he's still screwed. He's still missed. Maybe some of it doesn't matter. In some ways, the true story of how the Snyder Cut isn't about the film itself. It's not. It's about you. It's what it represents. Exactly. Yes, and that's why you're having a fit. Depending on your opinion, this could be the toxic pressure of fandom and social media crushing the originality and new ideas out of the industry. No. What you're calling originality and new ideas are bored, hackney ideas, which I feel are fundamentally racist, where you judge people on the content of their skin color, on their melanolin in the skin, or their gender, or how they identify, and what gender they identify as, rather than the quality of the film, right? And that's why you're in the bag for Doctor Who. That's why you're in the bag for Star Trek Discovery. That's why you're in the bag for everything Disney, because they push this this obnoxious, relentless agenda, and they push it down your throat. That's why you're in the bag for them. And probably they pay you too. In all fairness, on Aspiring Demo, how law fans managed to push back against a apathetic, nervous executive to protect artistic expression of a director. No, it's not. It's neither of those things. It's how fans push back against the wall of falsehood that came out of the media. Right, and they pushed back, and they were successful. And the only reason they were successful is because of the pandemic, and it freaked the hell out Warner Brothers. Who were not ready for it in any way, shape, and form. Listen, they got Godzilla coming out next week. And I'm just not interested in seeing more of the Disney output. Having said that, I'm still got Disney until the end of the Loki series, but I keep it mainly so I could do reviews, and also my daughter likes it. But again, I told her, who's 24, right? Who's 20? She can pay for it herself. I told her, when I finish using it, if you want it, you can pay for it. I'm done with it. I'm not even sure I'm gonna be doing The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett. I'm just like so disgusted with Disney in general, and the quality of the work they're putting out isn't that great. Now, I'm not saying Warner Brothers are any more virtuous than Disney. I think the only real difference is they're less powerful. But I will say the product they delivered to me has been one that I'm interested in paying for, whereas the one that Disney is delivering to me are products that I'm not interested in paying for. So there you go. The Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut is the journey, not the destination. Well, you didn't really like that journey, did you? And whether you're thrilled to see Batman punch some parademons or not, you can't deny it. It's been quite a journey. Oh yeah, it's been quite a journey where you had your ass handed to you. That was a journey where you had your ass handed to you and made to look like the moron that you absolutely are. And I think it's good and proper that you're indeed made to look like a moron. So there you go. There we go. That's a Snyder Cut for you. Much better than listening to the babblings of Hugh Fullerton over at Radio Times. I would suggest instead go check out my Indiegogo. My Indiegogo is freaking awesome, absolutely fantastic. And please don't forget for the Male Gaze cards. This new card you'll be able to see in all its resplendent glory. Hopefully by the time this video drops. My name is Phila Beckin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.